Good evening and welcome to the September 5th Council meeting. If you'd please all stand, Councilman Burton will lead us in the flag salute this evening.
Please place your right hand over your heart. Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. Our first proclamation this evening is for National Preparedness Month, September 2023. I'd like to call up Denise School, our Emergency Services Coordinator from the Police Department. And the proclamation reads, whereas National Preparedness Month creates an opportunity for every American to learn more about the ways to prepare for all types of emergencies, from potential terrorist attacks to natural disasters. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has announced the 2023 National Preparedness Month theme of helping older adults prepare for disaster. The Chino Police Department, in partnership with the Chino Valley Fire District, established a Community Emergency Response Team, or CERT team, program focused on training community members in basic disaster response skills such as team organization, disaster medical operations, fire safety, and light search and rescue that first responders can rely on during a disaster solution. All Chino residents are invited to attend the City of Chino's first ever Chino Cares Preparedness Fair, a community event aimed at highlighting all aspects of disaster prevention, preparedness, mitigation, response, and recovery. All Chino residents can take a few simple steps. Prepare your family by creating an emergency kit, develop an emergency plan, assist your neighbors, and volunteer to help in your community to make citizen preparedness a priority in this community. And whereas all Chino residents and businesses are encouraged to register for Chino Notify, the Chino's mass notification system that provides both emergency and community alert information that can be sent to any electronic device. The federal, state, local governments, and private sector are working closely together to prevent and respond to all types of emergencies. These activities, along with a vigilant public, contribute to the level of state and national preparedness that's critical to securing our state and the homeland. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Eunice Emiloa, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim the month of September to be National Preparedness Month, and that the City of Chino will continue to participate in efforts that ensure we have an integrated disaster response capability, so all city and county emergency responders and the general public can work together effectively. Denise?
Thank you, Mayor. Happy National Preparedness Month. Thank you for proclaiming this month for us. Just wanted to thank everybody, the public, for taking the necessary steps to be prepared. And as the proclamation reads, we will be having a preparedness fair on Saturday, September 16th, here from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we want to make sure everybody shows up. There'll be plenty of different vendors, people involved with emergencies, people selling emergency supplies, people like different demonstrations. It's a huge partnership that we have developed, a labor of love for all of us, and would love for you guys to come out.
Great. Thank you very much. Let's give her a hand. Oh, wait. Denise, we have to get a picture. I always forget about the pictures, too. Even though she reminds me. Okay, next we have Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. I'd like to call up Erin Zamora, LMFTLPCC and Program Manager 2, San Bernardino County Community Crisis Services, Darcy Edwards, LMFT, and Supervisor, San Bernardino County Clinic Crisis Contact Center, and Carrie Franco, Supervisor, Community Services, Parks and Recreation, City of Chino. Hello. And it reads, whereas on behalf of the citizens of Chino, we recognize the month of September 2023 as Suicide Prevention Month Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, shedding light on those suffering with depression or other mental or behavioral health issues. The health and well-being of all of our citizens is of the utmost importance. The City of Chino, San Bernardino County Department of Behavioral Health, and Chino Valley Unified School District recognize suicide as a huge human tragedy that transcends socioeconomic status, age, gender, and ethnicity. And whereas suicide is the leading cause of death in the United States, claiming the lives of over 48,100 in 2021, the second leading cause of death for ages 10 to 14 and 20 to 34, according to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. And whereas suicide has an everlasting impact on the survivors who are left to process the loss of their loved one and who are at the increased risk of suicide themselves, whereas suicide is preventable through increased knowledge about warning signs, timely intervention, and by limiting access to lethal means for those at risk. Suicide prevention efforts should be developed and encouraged to the maximum extent possible, and the City of Chino offers mental health services to youth, adults, and families. Now, therefore, I, Eunice Emuloa, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim September 2023 as Suicide Prevention Month in the City of Chino and urge all citizens to continue to work to prevent suicide and to take action, know the signs, reach out, and know there is help and hope. Ladies.
Thank you, Mayor Urloa, members of the council, for your continued support through this proclamation. Just reminding you that Chino Human Services provides individual, couples, and family counseling at Carolyn Owens Community Center. During this month, we want you to keep an eye on people, and if you see someone experiencing depression, be supportive. There is help. In fact, I'm proud to introduce Erin Zamora, Program Manager from Department of Behavioral Health, talking a little bit more about their services and introducing the person that's with her. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My name is Erin Zamora, and I'm the Program Manager for Community Crisis Services with the Department of Behavioral Health. And Darcy Edwards is with me, who is our Clinical Supervisor for the Crisis Contact Center. So what we do is anyone in San Bernardino County, including all residents of Chino, is able to call into a single line and access services to support with our evaluation process for someone who may be experiencing a mental health crisis, including suicide. So under Darcy's supervision, our team is able to triage calls, see if somebody is meeting criteria for hospitalization, see what kind of support we're able to get them connected to, as including mental health services. So if you have anyone in your life who may be struggling, please don't hesitate to reach out to any kind of mental health services, including our crisis response teams. So we are available 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And thank you, Mayor and the City Council, for honoring this month and how important it is for the residents of San Bernardino County.
Do you have a number that you can...
Absolutely. You could reach us at 800-398-0018. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming down this evening. Oops, see, you remembered that again. Thank you very much. Next, we have National Childhood Obesity Awareness Month. I'd like to call up Brittany Zarkow, Supervisor, Community Services, Parks and Recreation, City of Chino, and Brian Rachialis, Branch Director, Chino Valley YMCA. Brian's not here. No. Okay, so who do we have with us?
This is Michelle Leggett. She is the new Healthy Chino coordinator. This is actually her first day, so I wanted to introduce her to everybody.
Boy, put her on the spot right off the bat. And the proclamation reads, September 2023 marks the 13th annual National Childhood Obesity Awareness Month. The City of Chino, along with its community partners, Chino Valley Unified School District, Chino Valley YMCA, and Focus on Youth Collaborative, work to prioritize the health and well-being of Chino's children by supporting programs such as Healthy Chino Kids, Healthy Family Day, and Chino Valley Unified School District Health Center. The City of Chino works in conjunction with youth sports leagues to provide space for physical activities and team sports for children in our community. The prevalence of children 2 to 19 years old with obesity in the United States was 19.7% between 2017 and 2020, affecting 1 in 5 school-aged children. Obese children are more likely to become obese adults and are more at risk for associated adult chronic diseases, including high blood pressure, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and stroke. Obesity prevalence is 12.7% among 2 to 5-year-olds, 20.7% among 6 to 11-year-olds, and 22% among 12 to 19-year-olds. Participating in physical activity is important for children and teens as it can have beneficial effects, not only on body weight, but also on blood pressure, bone strength, and mental well-being. Proper nutrition is important for youth as it impacts their physical and mental health, body weight, and is important in the prevention of chronic diseases. And whereas childhood obesity is preventable, yet it does not appear to be declining. Now, therefore, I, Eunice Emiloa, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2023 as National Childhood Obesity Awareness Month and urge all residents to take advantage of the programs and services that are available in the City of Chino.
Thank you, Mayor and council members, for this proclamation. In addition to our partnership with Chino Valley YMCA, we continue to strive with Healthy Chino to provide quality programming through nutrition education as well as physical education programs. The basis of Healthy Chino, the main reason and goal it was formed in 2004 was to combat childhood obesity and the obesity rate specifically in Chino. So with our 20th anniversary coming up next year in 2024, we just aim to continue to innovate and update all of our programs and events to serve the community and to help all members gain a healthier lifestyle. So thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Well, picture.
Oh, yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, next we have Business of the Month Award. In recent years, families have invested more and more money into enjoying their homes. One of the most popular investments is that of a pool. A pool provides an outlet for recreation and relaxation for the family while providing value for the home. However, having someone keep that investment crystal clear really makes life good. For the month of September 2023, we would like to recognize Living Waters Pool Service Incorporated as our Business of the Month. I would like to call up the representatives for Living Waters, Troy, Erica, Jared, Andy, Trent, and Jade. Please join me up front. Family-owned and family-run businesses are the bedrock of the Chino community. This family, who owns and operates Living Waters Pool Service, prides itself on providing consistent and quality swimming pool maintenance and repair of equipment to its clients throughout the community. Living Waters has served the City of Chino for over 7 years and assisted hundreds of residents in maintaining the health and quality of their swimming pools. Annually, Living Waters gives back to the community through the donation of goods and foods for the Chino Neighborhood House during Thanksgiving, and they participate in the Christmas toy drive for the City of Chino, where they adopt at least 5 families every year to make a difference in their holiday season. This Chino business also sources their business needs locally and refers their customers to other city businesses in Chino for service, such as mechanics, landscaping, contractors, plumbing, and much more. When asked why they chose to do business, they simply said, because we were born and raised in Chino, and Chino is home. Please congratulate Living Waters Pool Service for helping our residents not only enjoy their home, but for creating and maintaining value in their Chino investment, and for being our July 2023 Business of the Month recipient. I'd like to present you with this plaque, which reads, "Congratulations to Living Waters Pool Service Incorporated, September 2023, Chino Business of the Month. The City of Chino thanks you for being a part of the Chino community, signed this day by myself and from the City Council." Please accept this plaque.
Thank you, everyone, for our nomination of Business of the Month. We are proud and privileged to be able to live here in such a great city, and we we enjoy taking care of everyone to the best of our ability.
I understand from our staff that they received more letters from the public to present you with this reward than we've ever had from any other business. So congratulations on being very successful. Thank you. Next, we have our Mayor's Beautification Award for September. I'd like to call up James, UNG and Zhang, right? He lives at 6617 Lunt Court. Hi, James. I'd like to present you with this Home Certificate Award. Thank you for your continued improvement and maintenance of your home, resulting in a substantial contribution to the overall appearance of the community. You see on the monitor the picture of your home. Here's a very nice picture. Here is a pen and pencil set, and a lapel pen, and the coveted Beautification Award plaque. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, council members, everybody. I'm so lucky. Today is my birthday. So thank you a lot. Thank you. Appreciate. I hope everybody will be lucky, like me, in the future, get this everything from Mayor. Thank you.
Well, let's sing happy birthday to him. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear James. Happy birthday to you.
Thanks. Thank you. Appreciate.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Now we have to get a picture. Congratulations. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Okay, next, I'm going to go back up onto the dais, but we have a special presentation from the Let It Be Foundation. I'd like to call up the leadership team: Ethan Lauren, Danae Alonzo, Abigail Senwick, Tatum Morris, and Alexis Lepore.
First, I want to thank the mayor and the council for having us here today. My name's Alexis Lepore. I'm the Youth Leadership Coordinator of the Let It Be Foundation, located here in Chino. Oh, perfect. Let's try that again. My name's Alexis Lepore. I'm the youth leadership team at the Let It Be Foundation. And today we have our ambassador team, and I'm actually going to turn it over to them to go ahead and give you guys a little bit about what we do. Here you go, Ethan.
Hi, my name is Ethan Lauren, and I am the captain of the team that you see before you. I have been with this team coming up on 4 years, and I'm currently a senior at Chino Hills High School.
I'm Tatum Morris. I'm a junior in high school, and this is my 4th year on the team.
Hi, I'm Danae Alonzo. I'm a junior in high school, and this is my 5th year on the team.
Hi, my name is Armand Singhal. I'm a sophomore, and this is my 3rd year on the team.
So we are here today representing 38 team members spanning 10 schools across various cities. So for those of you that don't know, the Let It Be Foundation is a foundation that helps support families who have life-threatening illnesses. At Let It Be, we try to focus on the whole entire family. So that means that we're not just focusing on the kid, but we're also focusing on the parents, the siblings, everyone in the whole entire family. Within our program, the Youth Leadership Program, we specifically focus on certain events and spreading awareness and also fundraising. So I'm going to let them talk about that.
Compassion. Compassion is sympathetic pity and concern for the sufferings or misfortune of others. Here at Let It Be, we're super big on compassion. We focus on loving all the kids in our community. Our goal is to interact with our families, and we do this by having dinner deliveries, family dances, family movie nights, and a program that we have called Love.
Love is a 6-week program that we do for our children's siblings, and we bring them to the office. It's each Wednesday for 6 weeks, and it's a 3-hour program. And we bring them there, and there's a therapist there also, and we just talk about all their feelings and emotions that they're having, going through this super hard time, because it's easy for them to feel like they're in a shadow with their sibling going through this rough time. So we just bring them in to let them know that all their feelings are valid, and if they need to talk or anything, that we're always there for them.
Next, I want to talk about leadership. So how we show this is how we set up the events and how we run the event. So the first event I want to talk about is Family Dance, which is our biggest event of the entire season. And it's where we have a chance to have a one-on-one with the kids. And so just to give you an idea, last year's theme was St. Patrick's theme. So all of our decor was St. Patrick's. We got to make like this beautiful balloon rainbow arch. And it was just super fun just to hang out with the kids. Our next event was Dinner Benefit, which is where we have our highest paying donators get served dinner by us, and they get to participate in an auction. And then we have Holiday Brunch, which is where we have a fundraiser where they get served brunch, and they get to shop at cool holiday boutiques. And lastly, but definitely not least, is personally my favorite event, which is our 5K walk, which is truly something we as a community come to and just show the love for all the people who have been part of Let It Be and who are currently still fighting. And through leadership, we learn plenty of life skills.
Another core part of the Let It Be Foundation is philanthropy. So we are a philanthropic foundation that has to fundraise to support the things that we do. So some of our annual fundraisers is our Krispy Kreme fundraiser. So we sell donuts to local businesses, families, and friends. We also have our National Lemonade Day event. So the Let It Be team and a lemonade trailer that we got just a few years ago will drive out to some local event and sell lemonade and raise awareness that way. But the main event that we are focusing on for this year is our Gold Out. So September, which is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, people wear gold to support the cause. And we sell shirts and bracelets like the one we're wearing now. And we also ask local schools to participate in this event with a spirit day or some other football game. And we also have schools from last year's Gold Out signing up for this year's, which is really nice. I'd also like to talk about some of our social media campaigns. So we use platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. And we just use these platforms to make posts and just reach larger number of people that we can't currently reach from now. And I'd also like to ask a favor of the board.
So you guys just heard about our shirts. So we actually brought the council each a shirt and a bracelet. We were going to ask you if you would wear it at your next meeting to show your support for childhood cancer awareness. So can we count on your support? Thank you.
I guess we're committed. Sounds like we're committed. I guess we'll be wearing yellow shirts.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Terrific. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's neat. Just to find the sizes. I know, I got it on already.
Tight on my wrist, but it works.
Okay, well, while they're looking for the shirts to fit the guys. She gave you a medium.
Whatever you have.
He doesn't want to say.
Extra small, please.
Extra small.
The classic medium.
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 Well, thank you very much for being here this evening. It is a wonderful organization. It'll be next council meeting is going to be casual. It'll be gold T-shirts. Okay, we did have a closed session prior to our council meeting. I'd like to ask our city attorney to give us a report out of that meeting.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council, and all present. The city council met in closed session as announced by the mayor and discussed the following matters as listed on the closed session portion of the agenda. Beginning with item number 1, conference with real property negotiator, the property at 5412 Francis Avenue, with the negotiating party being Grand West Coast Investment LLC. Under negotiation were price and terms of potential acquisition. The city council, with the mayor abstaining, not participating, and recusing herself, held a discussion on the proposed price and terms of a potential acquisition, provided unanimous direction, and no further reportable action was taken. Item number 2, workers' compensation claim, the claim by Theodore R. Sutton against the city of Chino was also discussed. The city council provided unanimous direction on that claim, and no further reportable action was taken. And finally, the city council received an update on item number 3, conference with legal counsel. One item of existing litigation, the matter of Elise Brown versus County of San Bernardino and City of Chino. City council received an update, and no further reportable action was taken. That concludes the report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Fred. City Manager Wright, we're going to be pulling item number 19. Are there any other changes to our agenda?
Sorry, my microphone isn't working. Yes, we'd like to pull 19. We're going to send it back to staff. We're going to change the location, so we're going to get another quote on that. The other item is a small change to the minutes of July 18 and July 5. Under roll call, those present, we missed Councilmember Lucio, so we're going to add him to both of those.
Okay. Thank you very much. Next, under information, we do have a presentation this evening from our Emergency Services Coordinator, Denise School. She's going to make a presentation on the 2023 Tropical Cyclone Hillary. Denise?
Make sure this is working. Good evening. So I was asked to give a brief report out on the events of what occurred on August 20th, otherwise known as Tropical Storm Hillary, and what the city did to prepare and respond to that event. Although the impacts were minimal, the city of Chino was prepared to respond to the storm. So days leading up to the storm, various city departments met and pre-planned on actions to take in the event that the storm was going to be severe in Chino. So specifically 2 departments, Public Works and the police department. So Public Works created a standby list of duty personnel, essentially 11 staff members that could be on call for the Sunday storm. Prior to the actual event, days leading up, the staff checked and cleared storm drain inlets and made sure that there was less of chance for flooding. They also staged flooded signs at locations that tended to flood, and then spent a lot of time creating and filling sandbags to pre-stage on equipment in case they had to mobilize those equipment to fight flooding events throughout the city, and made sure that the public had enough sand and sandbags to do that as well for their homes. In regards to the police department, our traffic unit met with Public Works to develop an operations plan. Teams of officers checked all of the washes, flood control channels, areas basically where our unhoused tend to gather. We did that on foot as well as by drone. After that, we were able to make contact to those people who were there just to let them know the storm was coming and offer resources to them. We also had traffic officers the day of the storm to monitor roadways with Public Works, and we placed EOC personnel, or Emergency Operations Center personnel, on standby. That's all city employees. So the day of the storm, we did decide to activate our Emergency Operations Center to a level 3, which is our lowest level, just as a precaution to make sure that we were prepared to respond. We activated our EOC, and that consisted of staff from administration, police department, community services, public works, and that's pretty much it. I think I might be missing one or two, but we were able to, through that activation, partner with the San Bernardino County Operational Area EOC to secure 2,000 sandbags. Our sand pits and sandbags were running low in the city, and so we were able to partner with them to get sandbags. And then through the EOC, we also coordinated with our local business here, Wolfenbarger, to secure additional cubic yards of sand to refill our fire stations. And our fire district also provided an additional 1,000 sandbags to be made available to the public. And we also had community services, park and recreation staff those fire stations to assist the public with sandbags and ensuring that they weren't running out and filling the sandbags properly. And we're very thankful to report there were no major damages to any city roadways. Debris cleanup really consisted of clearing the storm drain inlets that were cleared before the storm and making sure that, again, and continue to clear it so the roadways wouldn't flood. And there was a couple tree limbs down, mostly small, one large, and that was pretty much it. So, end of my report.
Certainly was a lot less damage than what we anticipated.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Denise. Curtis?
I appreciate all the work from all of the departments within the city. Talk about teamwork. You know, we take a look at what happened, the outcome of the hurricane, tropical storm, whatever you wanted to call it. You know, it could have possibly been catastrophic. The winds, the flooding. Our city immediately went into that emergency operations center mode, activating all of our departments and getting in there and being very, very proactive ahead of time, just to make sure that, you know what, we were ready for it. Not only our city employees and staff, but I'm now hearing about local businesses like Wolfenbarger who participated in giving us sand and other items. I appreciate all the work we've done and did for that. You guys are amazing. It's just another testament as to the leadership of our city. Dr. Reich, thank you very much for putting this together. Chief Menson and Chief Williams, thank you guys for making sure that we were ready for something that could have really gone south. So I thank you for that.
Okay, anyone else have comments? Karen?
There's a saying that proper preparation prevents poor performance. And certainly that is the case in this situation. This was going to be part of my report this evening, but I'll insert it here. Thank you, Chief Williams, for making sure that the training center was open with ample supplies for our residents. And what we call that is resident-initiated self-mitigation. Anytime we can get our residents engaged before the storm to sandbag and do small things, it frees up the time for our first responders when we have one of these events to handle the larger incidents. So not only will I say to our staff that they did a fantastic job in preparation, right, because hope is not a strategy for success, but I also want to thank our residents for taking it seriously, our residents for staying home when they were asked to refrain from traveling and doing certain things, and doing those small things in mitigation that helped us weather the storm to the best of our ability. So that was going to be my comments tonight, Mayor, but I'll save them for right here. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I also noticed my husband and I had to go to Home Depot for some supplies, and I don't know how many sandbags they actually gave out as well. You bought the bag, and then they gave the sand free, so I can't even imagine how many sandbags were out there, but it obviously helped. So thanks, everybody, for that. Okay, next under public announcements, Emergency Preparedness Fair. Mark your calendars for an exciting community event. The community is invited to the city's first Chino Cares Emergency Preparedness Fair in collaboration with the Chino Police Department, Chino Valley Fire, and California Fire Foundation. Join us on September 16th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Chino Civic Center right here, City Hall, 13220 Central Avenue, as we celebrate National Preparedness Month. This event is all about empowering our residents with essential knowledge and tools to handle emergency situations. Expect information booth, hands-on experiences with emergency vehicles, live demonstrations, emergency supply vendors, and valuable giveaways. The event is free, but for those who take the proactive step to pre-register, there's an opportunity to receive a free emergency preparedness starter kit available while supplies last. For further details and registration information, please visit www.cityofchino.org/CCPF. Next, I'm excited to announce Chino's second annual photo contest is underway. Photographers of all ages and skill levels are invited to capture the essence of our vibrant community. Share your unique perspectives through categories like Chino animals, Chino fun, Chino living, and Chino nature and landmarks. Winning entries will be recognized at the Chino City Council meeting and be featured in city publications and online platforms. Visit www.cityofchino.org/photo contest to submit your entries by the deadline on September 29th at 5 p.m. And lastly, I'd like to take a moment to pay our respects to 3 individuals who have left indelible marks on our community. Each one of them built a legacy that will be remembered for generations to come. Our first tribute tonight is for a remarkable individual and a pillar of our community who recently passed away, Mr. Glenn Duncan. Glenn was not just a former city council member, he was the personification of values that we hold dear in Chino. Since moving here in 1982, Glenn's love for Chino was unmistakable. Glenn's legacy spans over decades, marked by his ceaseless efforts in community betterment and deep-rooted dedication to Chino and its people. His leadership roles, including his tenure as president of the Rancho del Chino Rotary Club and the Chino Neighborhood House, resonated with the values of service, unity, and progress. But it's his dedication to the city council that truly set him apart. He served as a councilman for 25 years, attending over 600 council meetings and countless civic meetings, always with the goal of making a positive difference in the lives of Chino residents. On behalf of the City Council and the Chino community at large, we extend our deepest condolences to his wife, Cindy Duncan, and his family. Glenn's spirit will forever be part of the rich tapestry of this great city. As we adjourn tonight's meeting, we do so in the cherished memory of Glenn Duncan, a true Chino hero. Transitioning from Glenn's remarkable legacy, I want to turn our attention to another remarkable individual, Miss Donna DeBee. Donna was a Chino resident for most of her life, having moved here with her family in 1951 and graduating from Chino High School in 1965. Donna was a testament to unwavering service and dedication. She was a cherished city employee who retired in 2015. As the community liaison for the city of Chino, she was our bridge, connecting the city with its residents and businesses, assisting with their concerns, and ensuring their voices were heard. In addition to her work, Donna had an enduring commitment to community service. She was a member of several organizations, including the Chino Kiwanis Club and the Seroptimus Club, the Let It Be Foundation, and the Chino Valley Fire Foundation. Her impact on our community was profound, and her passion for public service exemplary. We send our heartfelt condolences to her family during this very difficult time. Donna's passing is a profound loss for our community, and we recognize and honor the invaluable contributions she has made. And lastly, tonight we honor Father Michael Maher, a religious leader and the heart and soul of St. Paul the Apostle Catholic Church. Arriving in Chino Hills when it was still growing, he built a parish that became more than just a church. It became a home and a cornerstone for both our communities. From humble beginnings at Townsend Junior High School to the landmark church we know today, Father Mike's journey was a testament to his faith and his dedication to the people of the Chino Valley. On behalf of the City Council, our deepest sympathies go to his family and all who were blessed to know him. Father Mike's legacy and influence stretch far beyond the walls of his church into the very fabric of our cities. Tonight's meeting will be adjourned in honor of Glenn Duncan, Donna DeBee, and Father Mike Maher. We will close tonight's meeting with heavy hearts, but also with a sense of gratitude for having had such extraordinary individuals be part of our community. Next on the agenda is public comments, where we take written and verbal requests to speak. We cannot take action on anything that is brought up tonight, but we can consider your concerns. Our first written request to speak is Pastor Roy Robbins from Christ Lutheran Church. Now, he's going to lead us in an invocation. I invite all those who would like to join us to please stand.
Thank you, Mayor Ulloa and council members. As always, it's a pleasure and honor to be here tonight. Please join me in prayer. Father, we come to you tonight asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer, nurture the bonds of community in Chino and beyond. Fill us with your grace and discernment, Lord, as decisions are made that affect our lives and our city. Season this meeting with a spirit of charity. Continue to remind us that all that we do here today is for the service of our community and for the greater task of glorifying you in all that we do and say. And we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Roy. Next written request to speak is Melissa Campani from Supervisor Hagman's office.
Good evening, Mayor Ulloa, council members, staff, and of course, our community members. My name is Melissa, and I am here tonight as Supervisor Hagman is hosting several events coming up that we'd like to share with the City of Chino. I know that we have a good one coming up. The City of Chino residents seem to love the document shredding events, and unfortunately this time it's not in the City of Chino, but Chino residents are welcome to come and bring their shredding materials. This will be in the City of Upland on Saturday, September the 30th. The time is 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Now, we do suggest you come somewhat early, not earlier than 9, because if the trucks do reach capacity, then of course we can't take any more. The location will be Memorial Park. The address is 1150 East Foothill Boulevard in the City of Upland. And if you'd like, you can pre-register at sbcshredding093023.eventbrite. So that's simply the date of the event. It is a free event, and we do ask that our residents limit their shredding materials to 3 standard size filing boxes. I know that the City of Upland will be there, the police department will be there so that they can give residents tips on how to protect identity. So we hope that some of our Chino residents will show up for this one. I know it's so popular here in Chino. Another announcement, Supervisor Hagman is currently looking for a Senior Affairs Commissioner. And we are accepting applications through, let's see here, it is the clerk of the board. So if we have interested citizens, they would apply through the clerk of the board in San Bernardino County, or I have a phone number of 909-465-5265. That's our local office number for questions. The applicants must be residents of the 4th District, which includes the cities of Chino, Chino Hills, Montclair, Ontario, and Upland, which just portion of Upland, so it's generally whatever's south of 14th Street. So we look forward to receiving some applications from our Chino senior citizens who'd like to be in that position. And this one really is a save the date, my last event community announcement. It will be taking place in November. I know it's a little bit ahead, but we do like people to have time to get their paperwork together. This will be for Supervisor Hagman's Veteran Claims event, which will take place November the 8th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This will be at the local district office for Supervisor Hagman. So it's nice and convenient. The address is 14010 City Center Drive. That is in Chino Hills. And there are a variety of services that the Veterans Department, the services will help with. They can answer questions about existing claims, conduct benefit assessment interviews, complete claim forms and paperwork, and they can also issue San Bernardino County military veteran ID cards. So it is a very, very helpful event where you can actually have a moment to speak with a real live person. And perhaps if you've been denied a claim before, this is your chance to bring the paperwork, have someone look at it. And I've heard of many instances where they just need a little bit of help filling that out correctly. So we do need participants to bring their DD Form 214. All services are provided free of charge, and a barbecue luncheon will even be provided by Supervisor Hagman. So we look forward to that day to help as many veterans as we possibly can. And once again, I'll leave the phone number, 909-465-5265. Hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Melissa. Next written request to speak, Donna Marchese. Subject is feral cats.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and City Council members. I'm here as part of a group of 3 gals that are trying to get together to work on our feral cat problem in Chino, just Chino. I don't know if you know that the Humane Society just stopped doing feral cat neutering for free. They have to focus on getting their hospital up and running and staffing. So right now, they've stopped all the free neutering for us. The Humane Society, and a lot of people don't know this, but the Humane Society covers Chino, Chino Hills, Claremont, Covina, Diamond Bar, Glendora, Laverne, Montclair, Ontario, Pomona, and San Dimas. That's 11 cities. It also covers the unincorporated areas of San Bernardino County, including the West End, San Antonio Heights, and Mount Baldy. Now, these areas have grown, as you know, and the Humane Society has not grown as fast as the areas have grown around them. So they can't keep up with all the people that are feeding all these cute little kitties and letting them, we call them feeders and breeders. So I just cleaned up a mess on my street. A guy had 20 of them. So I got as many of them fixed as I could real quick. So coming here tonight to try to see if there's any help the city of Chino can give us. We're willing to trap. We're willing to buy the food, the bait. We're willing to buy the traps, the gas to transport. But it's $70 a pop. I can't. There's a gal over here between 3rd and 4th with 10. She reached out to me. I don't have $700 for that. And I know you've got to know there's cats over by the police department. There's feral colonies. So they're everywhere. So I'm grasping at straws. I don't know if you have any kind of funding that you could give us to help pay for some of this. If not, maybe some clout as we reach out to organizations like the ASPCA and stuff. Maybe if we write to them or correspond with them, maybe you'll back us up and maybe they'll listen to us a little stronger. Maybe you could give us, now I know the businesses have to get a business license, so if we could get a list of all the vets and the vet hospitals, maybe we could reach out and get, could you give us 2 free neuters here and 2 free neuters there? A couple here, a couple there. What the heck? It adds up.
Donna, is the Humane Society going to start back up with free neutering, did they say?
Nicole Bresciani, I think is how you say it. They got a crazy Italian names. So she said right now they did it in the hopes that offering all the free neutering would help limit the amount of cats coming into the Humane Society.
Right.
They haven't seen a dip in it.
Really?
No.
So are they're not going to offer it again?
They're
then?
suspending it for the time.
But you don't know how long?
No. They've got that brand new hospital they just opened up. My husband's been in the hospital, 2 hospitals, 2 rehab centers. Everybody is shorthanded.
Yeah.
It's not just the hamburger joint you drive by we're hiring. Everybody is shorthanded.
Right.
So they got to get staffing, they got to get their hospital up and running, and then they're hoping to come back to help us.
Okay.
So, but
maybe Linda?
Yeah, I was just thinking maybe we could set up a meeting and come in and talk and brainstorm and see how we can help. Because if you're willing to catch them and do all that work, I'm certain we can find a way to get them.
Yeah, no, we're willing. There's 3 of it. Like I said, the one gal's got 20 years experience. The gal behind me here's got 12. I've got 8. And it'd be nice. I know you can't fine people because somebody said, well, if you fine them for feeding the feral cats, they'll just stop.
No, they won't.
So, yeah, well, and I keep running into ladies because I buy a lot of cat food at Walmart, and I'll go, how many are you feeding? And they'll go, well,
Yeah.
you know, we're counting numbers, but mine are all fixed.
Yeah.
So, but they'll go, well, I know I should, but.
Well, $70 a pop adds up, and right now with people worried about just feeding their families, they're not going to spend $70 to neuter a
Well,
cat.
the
especially
guy up
if
the
it's
street
not
from
theirs.
me, there were, I've got 7 kittens. 5 of them died before I could get to them in the heat.
Oh.
So 7 kittens, 5 cats. I didn't get to 2 of them. One was already neutered. Yeah, I mean, there was already, 7 and 5, 12 kittens there.
Yeah, it adds up.
Really, and I didn't know this, but somebody told me when I was waiting one day for the trap and neuter thing, if you feed them, they get pregnant easier and they have bigger litters. I didn't know that. So you're not only adding to the problem when you don't get them neutered, but you're adding to the problem when you feed them.
Yeah.
So
And just as a matter of information, it is against the law to feed a feral cat, according to the Fish and Wildlife Code.
It's
And
against
I
the law to
believe-
put a lot of food out, because I
Right.
talked to the guy in Long Beach, because the Humane Society told me that. It's against the law to feed any wild animal.
Correct.
But there's 5 hummingbird feeders at my house.
I understand
No?
that, but as
Okay.
you said, you know, it compounds the problem.
Yeah,
And
but
I
if-
believe we also have a city ordinance that prohibits
Well,
that.
the cats are going to be there whether you feed them or not.
Yeah. Well, and people are going to be kind.
Yeah,
And they're going
you
to feed
can't
them.
stop people, especially older people. That's what we
Okay,
do.
well, get with Linda, and she'll get a meeting, and we'll see what we can do. I think your idea of maybe touching base with all the different veterinarians, you know, if they each offered to do a couple of cats, it would help.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
know how many we have in the city, and I know everybody's busy. I know Dr. Hill, my vet's just hammered with business.
Oh, I know
but
he is.
Maybe 1 or 2 a month, you know, a little bit
Anything
helps.
helps.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much.
Nobody can resist feeding
I'll reach
kittens,
out.
Mayor.
Okay.
I mean, I came into the police department one day when I was still working there, and the dispatchers had one of the feral kittens curled up in a ball in their sweater in the dispatch center. So it's, but thank you for that outreach, and, you know, it's a challenge,
Yeah.
for sure.
And for that extra $70, I think we're going to have a lot more people come in and speak to us about this issue.
Could be.
And we definitely need to address that.
Yeah. Okay, Terry Carvin, same subject, feral cats.
Good evening. Thank you for having us. I'd like to just clarify a few things Donna said. One is, you have to excuse me, I had brain surgery and my mind is not what it used to be. The Inner Valley was allowing us to bring 1 cat 2 days a week. And you had to go at 6 in the morning, sit in your car till you get in line. You may be in line 2.5 hours, and then you may get refused because they've already booked enough. So now you have to take that feral cat home and hold it over either 2 days or 5 days before you can go back and try again. You may not get in again. So I don't think that that's fair saying that they haven't seen a decrease in their intake of feral cats when they're only doing 1 cat per person, very limited. I think that's an unfair evaluation. I'm sorry, I can't remember what else. And you were talking about against the law. I think if you have the property owner's permission to feed there, I don't think it is against the law. What's against the law is to leave the food for the wildlife. In other words, if we feed them, they eat, we pick it up and leave no other food. I think that's why a lot of residents allow us to do that, and property owners, because we're very careful at keeping it as clean as we can and not do that. And like Donna said, there's bird feeders out there. There's a lot of ways to feed wildlife besides feral cats. If we don't feed them and we have them come in and know that how many we have to fix, whether they're fixed or not, and have some kind of plan, it's very hard to trap them and know what you're up against and whether you can get them all. So by feeding them, you have some kind of idea of what you're up against. I've been feeding in Chino for over 12 years, TNR. And does anybody not know what TNR is? Trap, neuter, and we return them for their life. So this is our only solution to humane control is TNR. There's no other solution except catching them and having them put to sleep.
Well, thank you very much, Terry.
As an animal lover, I'm sorry, it's not an option for me. But I will say I have a friend in South El Monte, and I do a lot of my TNR in LA County. I have a business here in Chino. I've been here for over 50 years, and I coach soccer at Don Lugo. I don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Besserell. And you were there when I was coaching, so I know of you. And I have a business here. My business is right on the edge of San Bernardino and LA County, and there's a company called Fix Nation in Burbank. They spay and neuter for free, but you have to be out of LA County, so I literally get the cats, come across the street, so I can legally trap you in LA County. They do it for free. They give them their shots, flea medication, pain medication. I took one 2 or 3 weeks ago that we caught him. We thought it was a female pregnant because it had a belly, kind of a protruding belly, and he had a huge hernia. And they did full surgery on him for free.
Wow.
And sent him back because they want to send home healthy cats.
How did they fund? How did they get their funding?
A lady, her husband passed away, and he was an animal cat lover, and so she has built a foundation.
Wow.
And it's called Fix Nation. You can look it up. So then I have a friend that used to volunteer there, and he used to, since it's in Burbank, it's quite a drive for us, but we used to take 12, 15 cats at once. Because we had, as long as we had appointments, we could take as many as we wanted. Now we're limited to 3 a week, every week for a month if we can get appointments. So we had a gentleman that would transport for us from Monrovia, which helped us not having to make that long trip, because you had to drop them off and then go back and pick them up. And then he has now, in the last, I think he's 5 years now, in South El Monte, opened his own little place. And what he did was he got grant money, and he has the ASPCA come in with their mobile units. His goal was to clean up South El Monte first. And I think if his stats are anywhere near accurate, he's at 75%.
Wow.
He now has opened it to the adjoining cities. And now he has built a small trailer, surgical trailer. He's coming to Chino Hills the end of this month through a group that I know. And we're hoping to do 35 cats for free if we get the funding.
Jackie, maybe you can get her information and talk to him, find out how he got that started.
So then he now has 2 mobile homes he's trying to convert into portable surgical centers. But my question is why can't we find some kind of grant or some donation to bring in the ASPCA mobile trailers? They can do 40 cats a day. And he would sometimes bring in 2 or 3, 4 or 5 days a week. So he was really cleaning up the city.
Well, maybe we can. I know.
I just had a meeting a few weeks ago at Kurt Hagman's office with Michael Miller. He's the project manager, and of course he said my next step was to come see you guys.
Of course.
But he is very aware, and he's hoping that through the city, the state, and possibly the government, that we can find something in this relative area. Our first problem is we need low-cost spay and neutering for people that own their animals.
Right.
Because we get them dumped constantly. I feed a feral community, and 5 of the cats are so friendly I can pick them up and hug them because they've been dumped from a family. They had litters of kittens. That's why they were dumped. We couldn't catch enough of the kittens. We got them all fixed, but we couldn't catch them to tame them. We're not a rescue. There are probably 100 people just in this city that will trap for free. They will do the work. It's just that they can't pay this amount of money. The cheapest in our area is Priceless Pets at $65. I have friends from Monrovia driving to Priceless Pets because that's the cheapest we can find right now. Today I just found out Mary Roberts in Riverside. A gentleman had a grant out there, and I did a 30-cat hoarding situation, and he allowed me to use his grant money for that. They are now just doing, I think, 1 or 2 days a week. You can bring in 2, and they're only taking 10 cats. So it's it's $45, a little more reasonable. But still at $45 for us, like me, I want to go in and I want to take whole colonies. I get emails constantly from people. I've got stray cats in my backyard. I don't want any more kittens. I want them fixed. Can you help me? And it's to the point that they're going to have to pay for it. I can't anymore. I'm willing to
Well,
trap.
Terry, we have to move on with our agenda.
Yeah.
We've got a lot to cover tonight.
But anyway, this gentleman is Stray Paws Haven, Animal Haven in South El Monte.
Jackie's going to get the information from you.
And you can go on his website. He does free vaccinations and microchipping for dogs and cats from any city at Alongo, Toyota. This man's just unbelievable what he's been able to accomplish.
Okay, let Jackie get the information from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next written request to speak, Melinda Mendoza, Ayala Park renovations. She's from Chino Girls Fast Pitch. There's 4 people actually requesting to speak on this issue. So I'm going to request you not to repeat what the other person has said when you come up.
Hi, I'm not Melinda Mendoza, but I was wondering, would you guys mind if I speak on behalf of her?
Sure.
She wrote a letter.
Sure.
Thank you. I'm Rihanna Garcia. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for hearing us. The subject is about Ayala Park renovations. I'm just going to go ahead and read what she wrote. Good evening, Mayor and council members. I come to you today as a lifelong 3rd generation born and raised in Chino resident, mom and aunt to girls that play Chino Girls Fast Pitch, and aunt to nephews that play Little League here in the city. I have spent many hours watching my daughters and nieces at all parks here in Chino. My oldest daughter this year will age out. Since she was in 8U, we've been told that our fields would be renovated. City staff even came out and showed us renderings of what we can expect. But year after year, we have been put off. We are excited that this year, the last year of my daughter's playing, we would finally see the improvements. But we were told the bids were in approved with a change, but then we were told it was all too much and the project would be put off, maybe next year. But if the city approved a 2-year budget already, will it be next year? The Little League fields have dugout covers. All we want is to be equal to the boys and not to be forgotten again. We've been waiting patiently since 2016. Please don't forget the girls again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Next, Rihanna Garcia. Is that you?
Yes.
Okay, your turn.
Rihanna Garcia, thank you again for hearing us. I come to you as a parent. My daughter will be 14 at the end of this month. She's been playing for Chino Girls Fast Pitch since she was 4 years old. We've seen you many times at our opening ceremony.
Trying to throw the first ball over the
thing
plate.
Yes. I also have a younger daughter with me, Aria, that she's been playing since she was 4 as well. She'll be 8 in November. We really love the city of Chino. We really love our girls, Chino Girls Fast Pitch. I'm actually a board member as well as a parent. I'm actually a coach. I coach 2 teams at the moment, a high school division at the park and as well as an 8U division. we've just spent many hours and many good memories at the park, and we've seen things being done to the boys' fields, and then we also see things getting done for the soccer fields. We've also had, like we said, in one of our board meetings, a member came out and showed us plans and what was going to be done, and we're super excited. We actually told parents of our girls that play, and because of the renovations, thinking we're going to get them done, we've lost parents to other parks and cities because they're thinking we're not going to get them done. The park is going to be closed down. We might take the season off, but we still pushed through. We still made it happen. We're playing, practicing at Mountain View Park and at Via Park and making our, ways. And then we sound like a broken record because we keep telling them, oh, sorry, they're not going to be renovated. It's not going to happen. And then it kind of looks bad on us as a board. And then it's just our numbers have gone down because I think of miscommunication of the subject. They've gone to Chino Hills where they have nice fields that just got done. And it's kind of sad to see since I've started with Chino Girls Fast Pitch. I believe we started with maybe 500 girls. And when my daughter would play 6U, and like I said, now she's in 14s, and we only, I think our numbers are down to like 150 or 200. And it's, I think if we get the fields done, it'll bring people back to the city, and it'll bring players back. I think it's really important. Girls love it. We know a lot of alumni, college girls that are playing at UCLA, Washington, and it's really fun. And we hold one of the coolest tournaments, Milk Can, and I just don't want you guys to forget about our park and about the girls. So thank you.
You're welcome. Aria Alvarez.
Oh, okay, this one. Say good evening. Introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Say what you're doing. Go down. Say your name.
My name is Aria Alvarez. And I've been playing since I was 4 years old.
What do you want done? Tell her.
I don't want to.
Are you shy?
Yes.
Want to say that you want the parks done? And shade.
What do I say?
Tell her.
Maybe you better speak for her.
Huh?
I think you better speak for her.
What do you want done to the fields?
She's too interested in watching herself on TV.
Tell him.
I want the parks done and the fields done.
So she can hear.
You have to tell us, Aria.
I want the parks done and the fields done.
And? Shade because of why?
Shade because of the heat.
All right. Say thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, next is Lori Langrell.
Good evening, Mayor Ulloa
Lori.
and council members. First of all, I'm going to start this on a positive note. Like Brianna said, we have lost some kids. Some of them didn't want to have to be split having games at two different parks. So to reward the families that stuck it out with us, that are hanging tough with us, last Sunday in the glorious 100+ degree weather, we had Family Fun Day. We had the In-N-Out truck out. We had some water games and just a lot of family bonding. But I want to say thank you to you, to Mayor Pro Tem Comstock, and to Councilmember Lucio. Because of your donations, we were able to pull that off for the families and just make it a great event. So I want to start on a positive note. Not that it's negative, but I want to read an email that we received back on Thursday, January 26, 2017. Hi, Jennifer and Lori. We have been working diligently on a design for dugout covers in preparation for installation, but hit a snag. The dugouts as they are designed do not meet ADA requirements. Anytime we do work on an existing structure, we have to bring that structure and the surrounding area up to ADA standards. We are now working on a design that not only adds covers, but to upgrade the dugouts themselves. It was truly our hope to have the covers completed by the beginning of your season, but it's not going to be possible now, and we have to determine a good time to reconstruct the dugouts. We were looking forward to the covers, and I'm sure it's disappointing for you. I will keep you updated as we keep working through the process, and I'm sorry that we won't have it completed for this season. That was in January 2017. November of 2017, we had meetings and dugouts designs were finalized, were submitted. We have lived through a pandemic. We have lived through the Edison Avenue and North parking lot construction debacle. We had a South parking lot ADA construction debacle. We have shared fields when Chino American Little League got pushed over to Ayala. We shared our fields with them. All we're asking for is that we're not forgotten. We really thought this was the time. Everybody had their doubts. I truly believed it was going to happen, and the hardest thing I had to do was come to the board 3 weeks ago and say, it's not going to happen. And got a couple of I told you so's, but you know, we're still here. We're still invested in this community. We still have the best tournament in Southern California. Everybody wants to get into our tournament, and we're just here waiting patiently and just hope that we are not forgotten.
I understand, Lori, and I'm going to ask Linda to tell you kind of a background in what's been going on. Linda.
Hi. So I'm sure they gave you the update. We went out to bid on this project, and it came in $2.1 million above what we had anticipated, which is a lot of money. I think what our plan now is, and Sylvia, correct me if I'm wrong, instead of bidding just that one portion, we're going to build the walkway along the park as well. We think we'll get a price that's more affordable for us. But at this point, we don't have 2.1 additional million to put into the fields. And I know how horrible it is, and I know it's been a long time coming for these fields. I think on the plus side, there are a lot of fields that are worse than what we have at Ayala Park. And I know my daughter played in the league, and she had a great time. But when we went to Laverne and some of these other places to play, their fields didn't compare to ours. And I know we don't have the shade, and we don't have the nice dugouts. We do have a fabulous plan, and we'll rebid it. We'll see how those numbers come in. Everything right now is costing a lot more than we anticipated. If we were able to do this project back in 17, 18 before COVID, it would have been a different story. And I think you know all the hurdles we've had over time. But so you know, we have not forgotten Chino Girls Fast Pitch. We will not forget Chino Girls Fast Pitch. And, you know, I hate that you have to go to your board every time and say, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. But we will get there. We will get your fields done. We just need to do it at a price we can afford.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Natalie, you need to know, I don't know about the other council members, but Mark's and my system went out. So you need to reboot it or do something. We tried to log in, and it won't log in. Is there anyone else in the audience? Those were the only written requests that I had to speak on items that are not elsewhere on the agenda. Is there anyone? Yes, ma'am, come up to the lectern, please. Do you want to take a short break when she's done? I think we're going to have to.
Quick issues, and I'm going to keep it short and sweet for you. I live over here in the preserve, and one of the biggest issues is Bickmore and all of the big trucks barreling up and down Bickmore around the preserve. My understanding is they're not even supposed to be on that street. I think Quality Way is the cutoff where they can turn into the in and out commercial area. Everything from moving trucks to auto transport trucks. You know, it's a big truck and it's got 6 and 7 and 8, 10 cars on it. You know, they start as early as 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. That's really loud. If they're a light load, that thing trundles down the street like a train. And of course, the grandkids, everybody's up at 4:30, 4 o'clock. So I've been working on it for several years. We've been real patient over there too because we had a lot of street closures and then everybody from Pine was piling over onto Bickmore. Kind of gotten that straightened up now, but there's no signage. There's only one sign, and that's Euclid and Bickmore on the opposite side. There's no signs. It's a four-way street. By the time they get down to West Preserve, the street is so narrow, they can barely swing that right-hand turn. So if you're sitting there, I found myself having to back up to help them make their turn. I have seen some police officers try to be diligent about it, but it's just not working. You know, they're all through all those streets. They're small streets. They're not even designed for that kind of weight. I have a commercial license, so I understand. But it tears the streets up, and of course, we pay the taxes on that, you know? So I'm hoping that we can kind of get on it, because it's been, I called Caltrans, they said it's not their problem. At least if there's some good signs up there, the truckers can see it and avoid a ticket. I don't really want them ticketed, I just want them to stay off of the road. You know, so that was one. And the second one real quick, same area, street sweeping. They have us gridlocked in there. There is nowhere to go when it's time to move your car because every street is street sweeping, same day, same time. No, there's no overflow. I've parked as far as 2 miles away with my extra vehicles. These houses, these houses are 4-bedroom, basically. 3-bath, you would assume these type of homes to have at least 2 or 3 cars, you know. Fortunately, I only have a garage. I don't have a driveway like some do. So, you know, I do my best. I haven't gotten a ticket, but it's very inconvenient. Very, very inconvenient. So that's something else I'd like to, you know, bring to your attention. If we can maybe rotate the vehicles, maybe one side of the street one day and one side of the street another day. But, you know, for people that work, I see people getting tickets every time it's street sweep because they just can't do it. So just wanted to let you know. I don't know how to follow up on it with you, but I would like to see if we can get those issues addressed.
I know we have been talking about the street sweeping and how to take care of it, and I think they are considering what to do. Difficulty is a lot of people don't use their garages because it's full of stuff, which it shouldn't be. It should be for the cars. But it is a reality, but we do need to keep those streets clean. And I know that is something that they're looking at.
Okay. All right. Well, I thank you for your time. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, go ahead, Mark. Well, let me ask Linda, would you have, okay. Jackie's going to talk to her, but would you figure out what to do about the signage and everything about the trucks and stuff? Because I agree we need better signage down there. Okay, Mark.
And also, I just wanted to let you know that we have gone over that with the Infrastructure Committee, and one of the proposals is that we're going to alternate. So on street sweeping day, on a certain day of the first street sweeping day, it'll be on either the north side of the street, and on the second street sweeping day, it'll be on the south side of the street. So that way, we'll give you that opportunity. Both sides will be swept, you know, but they'll only ticket the side that isn't supposed to have cars. But that's already something we've already discussed in the Infrastructure Committee, and they're going to put that all together and bring it to the council for review. But it's already been brought before, and we all kind of agreed to it. At least the Infrastructure Committee now has to go in front of the full council for approval, but it's already in the works. Just to let you know.
They refer to it as odd and even addresses days for the signage. So that'll be, there's still a lot of cars down there. If you've been down there, that parking is at a prime down there. But it'll certainly be more effective than just trying to sweep both sides of the street on one day. When we do understand that, and very sorry for some of the frustration it's caused. And we hear you about the trucks. We know it's an issue not just in your area, but other parts of the city as well.
Okay, are there any other requests to speak? Okay, we'll resume our council meeting. We're our monitors are back up and running. We're on a new voting system, so it'll be interesting this evening. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the consent calendar. It's been noted that there is revisions to item number 2. The minutes are being corrected. So is there a motion to accept the consent calendar with the noted revisions? Okay, there's a motion from Councilman Burton, second from Councilman Lucio. Please vote. And the consent calendar passes 4 yes with 1 absent, that being Christopher Flores, who is on an excused absence. Next item on the agenda is under public hearings. This is the time and the place the general public can address each item as it comes up, and you will have an opportunity to do so. Item number 17, amended operating covenant and restrictive covenants affecting interests in real property. This is to approve the third amendment to operating covenant and restrictive covenants affecting interests in real property with Creative Bus Sales Incorporated. I'll declare the public hearing open and ask for a staff report from our Assistant City Manager, Jackie Melendez, with assistance from our Director of Finance, Rob Burns.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. Tonight, for your consideration, we present the third amendment to the agreement between the City of Chino and Creative Bus Sales, officially doing business as Model 1 commercial vehicles. The company is located at 14740 Ramona Avenue and has been in business for over 40 years with operations in over 20 locations in the United States. They've been in business in Chino. 2023 will be the celebration of their 20 years in Chino, and we do have a member from the company, Steve Chung, here in the audience with us this evening. Creative Bus Sales is the premier seller of new and used commercial vehicles such as buses, vans, and shuttles, including school buses. The company offers alternative fuel vehicles and is poised to meet increased demand for electric vehicles. In 2003, the city entered into an agreement with the company for a 10-year sales tax sharing term. In 2012, that agreement was amended and extended the payment period for an additional 10 years and modified payment calculations. The payment period expired in October of 2022. The third amendment to the agreement presented today calls for a 6-year extension with two-year term options to extend for a potential of 10 additional payment periods. The amendment calls for the first $75,000 of sales tax to go directly to the city. This is consistent with the previous amendment. The remaining annual sales tax will be shared by a percentage based on the contract year. Year 1 and 2 will allow for 40% share to the company, 60% to the city. Year 3 and 4 allows for 35%. Year 5 and 6 allows for 30%. After the initial 6-year term, the city retains the option to extend the term for an additional 2 2-year periods with a 30% share. This gives the city the opportunity to evaluate the agreement and respond to trends in the market, especially as it pertains to alternative and electric fuel vehicles. As the state of California attempts to transition into zero-emission vehicles and a future with zero emissions, with benchmarks for the electric conversion of vehicles, the demand for electric buses, shuttles, and vans, such as those sold by Creative Bus Sales, is expected to increase, thereby increasing potential sales in Chino and sales tax to be shared under this agreement. Staff recommends the approval of the third amendment as it is consistent with the city's economic development goals and will provide for the following benefits: retention of a top sales tax producer, retention of local jobs, enhanced vitality to a major economic corridor along Ramona, and increased opportunity for sales to support the city's general fund for essential services like safety, recreation, and infrastructure. Per Section 53083 of the California Government Code, an economic subsidy report has been attached to the staff report. The item was publicly noticed and a public hearing was held. This concludes my report, and Rob and I are happy to answer any questions you may have regarding this agreement.
Thank you, Jackie. Since the applicant is here, sir, do you have anything that you would like to add to the report?
Good evening, Mayor Ulloa and council members and staff. We've had the opportunity to meet before previously. I don't know if you recall, but no, we, as Creative Bus Sales, and soon to be Model 1, we sincerely appreciate the opportunity to be here with you. We love working in Chino. I myself have worked with the company over 15 years. I worked with the prior company, Penske Truck Leasing, also in Chino, so I love this city. And we appreciate the partnership that we have with you, and we look forward to growing with you. We are a major dealer in not just California, but the nationwide. We've just recently been awarded 2 state contracts, so we know we're poised for huge success moving forward, and not just the traditional fuel, but in battery electric as well as hydrogen fuel cell vehicles.
Thank you very much.
For the record, if you don't mind providing your name.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Steve Chung. I'm the Regional Vice President of Creative Bus Sales Model 1.
You know, Steve, I have to share with you, a couple of years ago, my husband and I and some friends went to Alaska. And we went on an excursion trip, and we were in this bus. And we happened to look up, and guess what we saw? Creative Bus Sales.
Yay.
Chino, California. So that was kind of neat, all the way up in Alaska. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Do you have any questions, council members of Steve? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to address the council on this item? Yes, Curtis?
Mr. Chung, I appreciate you and your business being in our city. You've been here a long, long time now, and I appreciate our partnership, and we just continue to wish you success, and we want to be part of that with you. So thank you very much.
Okay, with that, I will close the public hearing and ask for council comments or questions. Okay, then I would encourage a motion and a second, please. Motion from Mayor Pro Tem Comstock, a second from Councilman Lucio. Please vote. What? Okay, and the item passes 4 yes with 1 absent.
Thank you.
Next, under new business, number 18, introduction of ordinance number 2023-018 regarding City of Chino designated holidays. This is to approve the introduction of the ordinance amending Chapter 2.52 of the Chino Municipal Code. Our report this evening will be provided by Debbie Pacheco, Deputy Director of Human Resources Risk Management, and Jerry Ann Kingsland, Director of Human Resources and Risk Management. Ladies?
Thank you very much. Good evening, Mayor Ulloa and City Council members. The city currently recognizes 2 half-day holidays, the day before Christmas and the day before New Year's. During the most recent labor negotiations, Council approved changing these 2 existing half-day holidays to full-day holidays. The Council also approved the right to work a holiday schedule that allows non-essential facilities to be closed during the week between Christmas Day and New Year's Day. Employees are responsible for using their own accrued leave for this time off. Council actions served as a great morale booster for many employees who enjoy the holiday season. Your approval of this change has resulted in greater equality among employees previously vying for the same time off each and every year. By approving this change, many employees will be afforded the opportunity to take time off when it has the least impact on operations and customer service to our community. In order to formally enact this change, ordinance number 2023-18, which amends Chapter 2.52 of the Chino Municipal Code pertaining to designated holidays, is required, and I'm requesting this change to be taken this evening. That concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Any council comments on this item? Is there any input from the audience this evening on this item? Okay, seeing none, then I would entertain a motion in a second. Motion from Councilman Lucio, second from Mayor Pro Tem Comstock. Prior to the vote, I'll ask our city attorney to read the ordinance by number and title only.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. The City Council is considering the following ordinance, and it's being read by title only and waiving further reading. It is ordinance number 2023-018, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Chino, California, amending ordinance number 2019-014, section 2.52.020 of the Chino Municipal Code, designating specific holidays upon which non-safety public offices and buildings of the City of Chino shall be closed. Thank you. That concludes the reading of the ordinance.
Okay, now I would request that everyone vote. And the item passes 4 yes with 1 absent. Next on the agenda is mayor and council reports. On mine, I'm just going to go through very briefly on the major items that have happened since our last meeting in July, because we technically took August off. So we had the demolition derby on July 22nd, which turned out phenomenal, like always. On the 31st, I went to the retirement of the general manager of the Water Facilities Agency, Terry Catlin. He retired, and the new general manager, Van Yu, took over. Prayer breakfast was on August 9th. I attended our prior chief's walk of honor on August 10th, which was phenomenally attended. Can't say old, he's not that old, he's younger than me. So, the Relay for Life, our mini version of it, was held on the 12th. That turned out very nice as well. Our new chief, Chief Kevin Menson, was sworn in on the 17th, and that again was very well attended. You know, it's an incredible testimony to the community to have such a good turnout for a retirement and a new swearing in. And we had a lot of retirees come back, as well as a lot of members of the public were there. And then on the 21st, I was able to present a proclamation for Senior Citizens Day to the Senior Center. The 26th was Fight Night, and I'm going to let Curtis Burton talk a little bit about Fight Night, which our own councilman, God, my mind just went blank. Christopher Flores took on quite an impressive sparring round. And then I had the senior birthdays on September 1st. Mayor Pro Tem Comstock.
Mayor, I have a lot of the same council items that I attended. The Derby was phenomenal. The Derby is a great fundraiser every year. It brings in a lot of money for a lot of different nonprofits. So for everybody that operated the car or donated, we want to thank you. We will spend that money right back in our community. To our residents that came out tonight to speak about trucks as well as street sweeping, I want to thank you for coming to the city council meeting and expressing your concerns. Our staff members are here. They're taking notes each time you express a concern like that. I can give you my word that they're attentive to your concerns and your needs, and they will work hard to work on those issues with you. But thank you for coming and expressing your concerns, as well as to the people who talked about the fast pitch softball. I'm a product of Chino Youth Softball Association. I know, Linda, that you probably take this personal in its own way that we're not able to deliver on, some of the needs of those fields. But I know that this city and this council will find a way to deliver, to the Chino Girls Fast Pitch Association. Mayor, thank you for touching earlier on the lost loved ones between Donna DeBee and Glenn and Father Mike. I didn't know Father Mike as well. I knew him well, but particularly in Donna DeBee and Glenn. I'm actually Glenn's spouse's neighbor, Cindy. It's a tremendous loss. Glenn was a great public servant to this community for many years. And Donna DeBee is just one of the nicest people you could ever come across. A very kind, gracious woman who I wasn't a close personal friend, but I'm friends with several family members, and she will certainly be missed. And of course, I consider Glenn and Donna, good co-workers and stewards of the city.
Well,
So they will be missed.
Donna was very classy.
She
was a classy lady.
Yeah, she was, and she will be remembered that way. That's part of her legacy. I also attended Chief Simmons' retirement. Congratulations, Chief Minson, and thank you for asking me to partake in your ceremony. That was a great day for you and the Chino Police Department, and all the promotions that you've made following there. We have one of the promotees sitting in our audience tonight. I want to congratulate Lieutenant Ted Olden on his promotion. Congratulations, Ted. We're happy for you as well as the other promotees, Chief, that you've promoted. That's an exciting time for the police department, and we're very, very happy for you. Andy, I think I congratulate you as well, Deputy Chief. I'm sorry if I call you guys by first name. It's hard sometimes. Deputy Chief, sir, and Chief and Lieutenant, congratulations. We're very proud of you. We know you guys are going to do great jobs in your assignments. Oh, the captain's not here, but where's he at? Oh, there he is. There's the captain. Yep. So hate to leave you out too, Captain Murata. Congratulations to all of you. We know you're going to do a great job in all your positions. And I will too. Like I got to fight night late because I was helping my family with something, but I did get to see Chris box in the last round of his bout, and I'll turn that over to Kurt. But it was nice to have August, technically off, even though we were technically busy, during that time period. And thank you, Mayor. That concludes my report for tonight.
Councilman Burton.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll try to keep this as brief as possible. We don't have any council meetings for the month of August, but that does not keep us from going out and doing things within the community. We were extremely busy during the summer, and it was a lot of fun. It really was. A couple of the highlights for me, I was a guest reader for a bunch of preschool and elementary school kids at story time in the garden at our very own garden over on Riverside Drive and Ross next to the fire station. I believe it's 7th, Chief, isn't it, over there? But it was very well attended, and I just had a great time over there reading to the kids, and their parents were there. And then they had an opportunity to go into the garden and experience and try some fresh fruit. Really neat time over there. If you haven't been over there and checked it out, I encourage you to go over there. On the 29th, the city and You Choose sponsored a back-to-school giveaway at the community building. I want to thank our staff again for doing a great job, as well as the You Choose group, in getting these kids outfitted, for their new school year. Not to mention the fact the Chino Police Officers Association was out there, as they always are, making hot dogs, and the fire department was there as well to offer support to the program. So thank you very much. August 1st was National Night Out. The police department again put on a tremendous show. Several council members went out to different areas within the city. I know there was some fire personnel out there as well, but it really gave an opportunity for the residents to get to know our emergency services personnel. The 10th, I attended the Chief Simmons Retirement Walk of Honor, as the mayor had mentioned. The 17th, Mayor Pro Tem and I attended a blue ribbon breakfast in Ontario honoring law enforcement. Our own Stephen Jate, who's our Police Officer of the Year, was honored again out there, so that was really a neat function. 17th, I attended Chief Menson's swearing-in ceremony. And then on the 26th, with the mayor and Mayor Pro Tem, I attended the Saturday Night Fight sparring event that was put on by the Chino Youth Boxing Foundation as one of their major fundraisers. It was really a fun night, very well attended. They invited me to MC the event, which I did. I want to thank our staff for being out there. Deputy Chief Bieland, Assistant City Manager Jackie Melendez was out there as well. We had a great time. Chris Flores got in there and really impressed us. And by the way, that's Christopher Iron Fist, or Fist of Fury, Christopher Fist of Fury Flores. Yeah. And that was coined by Deputy Chief Bieland, by the way. So he really, he did a great job. We were so impressed. He was a little winded afterwards, but they didn't cut his pretty face. And his hair was still looked great. after the boxing match, and we were all very, very impressed.
And Andy got a great picture, an action shot of Chris that I hope at the next council, well, when Chris comes back, because he's going to miss 2 council meetings, when he's back at the next council meeting that he attends, I would like you to provide that picture so that we can put it up during his council reports. Okay.
And I'd also like to once again congratulate our promotees, Chief Menson, Deputy Chief Bieland, Captain Murata, and then Lieutenant Teddy Harry, Buddy Buddy.
Teddy Harry.
Teddy Harry, Buddy Buddy Olden back there in the back. He shakes his head, but he really wants everybody to call him that. And so if you see him out there on the streets, please help him out because that'll make him feel really good. And in closing, Mayor, I again, like you and Mayor Pro Tem, offer my condolences to Glenn Duncan's family, Father Mike Maher and Donna DeBee. I also thought the world of Donna, and also Glenn. I didn't know Father Mike very well, but Donna, when I think of Donna, I just think of a very kind woman.
Yes.
And Glenn Duncan was a worker.
Yeah.
He did a lot of behind-the-scenes things in the city that people didn't get to see. He was a working man.
Well,
And
Glenn
I appreciate
also,
what he did.
Glenn also almost single-handedly saved Neighborhood House because it had gotten to the point where it almost closed. And Glenn got involved in it and really brought it back. Johnny Salter, Ma Chino, used to be very, very, when she was here and active, she was very, very active in the Neighborhood House and kind of kept it going, and then it went downhill. And Glenn brought it back. He took it upon, himself to save it, and he did. He did. So.
And that's all I have this evening, Mayor. Thank you.
Councilman Lucio.
Yes, thank you. Well, first I want to thank everybody for you guys' response for Tropical Storm Hillary. All the initial reports came in that it was going to be really, really bad. And of course, I don't always believe everything I hear, so I procrastinated, didn't get sandbags initially. And being married to Junior Sarah Connor, it didn't go over well. But I was glad that you guys were able to get sandbags again because that really saved me. Otherwise, I would have been in some significant trouble.
Is your wife listening tonight?
I don't know, maybe.
You're going to be in trouble.
But she's going to be attending the event this weekend for emergency preparedness. She's big into that, and she really believes in everybody should be prepared. I mean, to the point where we have MREs, we have a bunch of different things that you wouldn't believe what we have in our home. But that's the way she is. So she's a big proponent of being prepared for any type of disaster. So I want to thank you guys for really going out there and making an impact because, I mean, the only flooding that I think we really had was around the golf course down there on Prado. Everything else was clear, and that's a testament to you guys because we did have enough rain that normal streets would have flooded, but we didn't have any flooding. And the good thing was we didn't have anything posted online that said that we failed in doing our job by making sure that the streets were clear. So I thank you guys for that because when nobody says anything, that means you guys did a great job. So I appreciate it. The Chino Derby was great. It was a good time, so I think everybody's already covered that. But one thing I did want to talk about was on the 3rd of August, we had a meeting with Henry Hong. And if you guys don't remember who he is, he's the one that's developing the piece of property right next to Ayala Park across the street from Chaffey College. And some of the renditions and the drawings and the things that he wants to put there besides the church, he wants to put something, kind of a theme of like the Anaheim Packing House, where it's going to be different restaurants that comes in, and then it's going to be open seating inside, and it's going to have that different theme. So he wants to make it kind of something that people drive to and an attraction here in the city of Chino. So he's bringing in not your typical chain restaurants, but small mom and pop hamburger places, pizza places. And he's also going to do upstairs, it's because it'll be 2 stories. He plans on doing kind of a brewery type thing where you actually have a wristband and you can purchase beer that way. So his ideas are really, really, I think, something that'll bring something here to Chino that we haven't seen before. He also, in developing the piece of property that's located on Schaefer, part of it will be a warehouse, but then the front part, he wants to utilize that to also do some sort of food establishments there to also bring that type of theme there as well. So his hope is that that will drive more of that type of environment into the city of Chino, which, I mean, he was, some of his ideas were really, really, really interesting. They were definitely forward-thinking, so I look forward to, I think he's going to submit his plans again. So I think he just recently submitted his plans for a second time.
I wondered where we hadn't heard anything.
Yeah, so he is moving forward with it. I think he had submitted them the first time, so now he got them back. He redid them to meet all the corrections that need to be done. Now he's resubmitted them again, and hopefully we can get something started by next year. So that, you know, yeah. So it hasn't stopped. Things are still moving along, but like I said, he's got some ideas that I think will bring some entertainment here to the city of Chino, which is something that we really, really need. So it was a great meeting with him, and he's got a great mind.
Especially the new building going in at Chaffey College too. That's going to bring even more students down there.
So we look forward to it. So I'm hoping that it turns out as nice as what he's hoping for, and I hope that it's everything that we're hoping that it's going to be. I also attended Chief Simmons' retirement walk, and then also Chief Menson's swearing in, and so congratulations to everybody that was promoted. Obviously, a lot of changes going on in the police department, which is good, and obviously, Kevin, you have our full support. So, you know, the changes that you're making and the way you want to take the department, you know, you have our full support. So I look forward to the new, obviously, and when things change, there's a new vision, and I look forward to seeing what your vision is. And obviously, I know that you believe in fighting crime and putting criminals in jail, and I think that's really what the community wants. And obviously, traffic is important and everything else, but the safety of the community is what the community really, really always is at the forefront. So I know you'll be the right person for that job. So I look forward to working with you. I also want to wish my mother a happy birthday. She's September 11th, so it's coming up. My son will also be 18 on the 17th, so I wanted to wish them both a happy birthday. And I wanted to close with my condolences to the Glenn Duncan family, to his wife Cindy, to Father Maher, and to Donna DB. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. City Manager Reich.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. I just want to reiterate what Councilmember Lucio said. It's all of our responsibility to be prepared. And when we do that collectively in our own homes, it takes the pressure off of safety. So please come out to our emergency preparedness fair on Saturday and learn what's going on. I'd also like to thank our team for being ready. Our big disaster here in Chino is probably not going to be a hurricane. It'll probably be an earthquake. But this was a good test for us. It was a good test for us to open our Emergency Operations Center to communicate. I want to thank our fire partners for joining us there. It says a lot that we were ready, and we're just grateful that it wasn't as bad as it was anticipated to be. And that's all I have. And welcome back.
Thank you. Well, City Attorney Galante.
Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to report that last month, during the council recess, we did receive a communication from IEUA on the sewer service agreement, sewer collection service agreement. Unfortunately, it seems as though those negotiations are stalled. I plan to provide the City Council a full briefing, including options, at your next meeting. And just finally, I wanted to extend my condolences. I feel very honored to have worked with Glenn Duncan, and I know he was a very committed, dedicated public servant, and my condolences to his family. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. Chief Minson.
My first chief report as the council. So first, I just want to thank the council, Mayor Pro Tem, and Councilmember Lucio, Councilmember Burton, on your support attending my swearing-in ceremony. It was incredible, and yes, the amount of support from both internal the department and then the community was surreal. And then one of my first responsibilities was to backfill behind me with the promotion. So yes, promoting Andy, Nick, and Ted to put our command back together so that we can. I was happy to get through promotion so we can start moving forward and get some things accomplished. A couple things I want to talk about. So Beginning of last week, we were notified by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department of a very violent homicide that occurred in their jurisdiction, along with another attempt homicide, and they gave us a vehicle description. With the use of our technology with our real-time crime center, one of our dispatchers was able to direct our officers to where we thought the vehicle was, and we located the vehicle. It was unoccupied. And then over the next several days, we worked collectively with the Sheriff's Department, and we deployed additional resources in making sure that our community remained safe until we were notified that the suspect was no longer in our community. And then they put out a press release, I think it was yesterday, that the suspect was arrested on Sunday. So obviously our priority when this was all taking place was the safety of our community and not knowing where the suspect was at during the course until he was located. And then just lastly, regarding what has been discussed this evening about trucks, that continues to be a priority for us. You provided us, you approved another traffic officer in July 1st. We are in the process of putting that person in their position right now. I think they'll be deployed, or they'll take that role in the middle of October. But in the meantime, we are deploying additional officers on overtime to do nothing but commercial enforcement in select areas. And we're using, or if you remember, BriefCam, you approved the purchase of BriefCam that's using video analytics, where it's directing us on where the most amount of violations are taking place and what time of the day, and that's where we're deploying our officers to do the commercial enforcement on top of where we're receiving complaints. So that continues to be a priority. One of the challenges we are having along Euclid Avenue is dealing with the state with signage when it comes to these trucks and being off truck routes. So we're really looking for long-term solutions, not just to go out and write tickets. We're looking to try to get them off there, and we do that first with signage. So we're working, us and Public Works working together with this, trying to get with the state. We're making some progress, hopefully have some better signage in place so that we can get them off Bickmore and Kimball. So that concludes my report, unless you have any questions for me.
I just wonder, since we do have a terrible time working with Caltrans on Euclid, maybe the signage can be at the beginning of Bickmore, not actually on Euclid, but a little bit inland. But maybe even we go to an extreme where we have those lit blinking, like they have the blinking stop signs where there's no trucks allowed. We have to do something.
Yeah, we've put signboards up on Euclid Avenue to keep them off there. But yeah, I mean, we're looking, it starts with the signage. And the challenge with trucks is you got to get the sign before they can't flip a U-turn and before they can turn off. So we're looking at all options and getting the signage.
Well, you, like I had said, you have big shoes to fill, but I think, you're going to set that bar even higher than it was. I have no doubt at all, and your command staff is going to do an excellent job. We've known all of you for a long time, and the expectations are high, but I also have no doubt that you'll fill those expectations. So congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Mayor, I have a comment for the Chief.
Yes.
Chief, maybe it's also a time that you sit with your command when you get the data back from, what was that called? The
BriefCam.
BriefCam, and start studying the nature of those violations, the days. One of the things I see as a resident is, like anything else, there becomes a pattern of the enforcement, and a lot of those drivers, because we've become, we've grown so much, particularly in our commercial area, and with the results of the pandemic, and what's presently on our boundaries, right? If you go over to East End and some of the storage areas that have actually sprung up over there in both the county and Pomona, perhaps it's time for us to come up with a larger strategy, not just for enforcement during what I would call business hours, but also, we're going to be a city at one point that needs 24-hour, enforcement of that, so that the drivers know not just about not staying off the route, but I know we do innovative things working with the CHP for commercial enforcement, and that they're safely operating these vehicles through our city. So just, one of the, I'm sure probably the 500th thing of your list of 1,000 things to do, as the new chief, but just, just some advice there. So
the trucks it's a priority to the community, so it's a priority to us, and we're going to stay on top of it.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. We appreciate it.
Okay. Anything else for Chief Menson? Okay.
Thank you.
Chief Williams.
So, Mayor, let me start by saying thank you for taking back that west is not old, because I'm older than him and I'm still here. So let me just start with that. Two things that I would like to just make the council aware and the community aware that two things that we've brought to the fire district lately. We do have a drone program that we started now. I know law enforcement was a little ahead of us for their own reasons, but we now have a drone program at the fire district, and it will really serve the community in the way of if we have large fires out in the grass, or we have the growing area out there with, use Walmart as an example, is very large buildings. For our ability to get up in the sky quickly and see what we have in a structure like that really will give us the intel we need to combat incidents, whether it be fire-related, hazmat-related, those types of situations at those buildings. So really excited about our drone program. And as we all know, that you can't do this without really good people. And so behavioral health continues to be impact to our folks. We do have a therapy dog now. So we've paired a dog with one of our fire personnel, one of our fire captains, who is in receipt of the dog, and I guess there's a break-in time where they have to get to know each other. But
is it a Dalmatian?
It is not a Dalmatian.
Oh.
It is a bearded Labradoodle, so I'm told, a big beard on it, so it's kind of cool looking, apparently. We have that, and we're really excited, and at some point you'll be seeing our dog out at many of the events, and it's really for our folks to be able to have a little bit of space and gather themselves after situations and whatnot. I do want to also take time to really reflect back on the hurricane situation, and really with respect to the fire district personnel. I don't think I've lived in this area my whole life, and I've never heard of a hurricane coming through here. So the thought of that, and then having to ask our personnel to come in and be away from their families, not knowing what to expect with this whole thing. So I really think it's appropriate to acknowledge we had upstaffed significantly with command staff, with our Swiftwater Rescue, and all the folks that from the fire district that came back to staff EOCs and be available for this community while they leave their home communities unattended. So thank you to my staff for that. And then finally, I know as a fire chief, none of this gets done without with a great team. And so Kevin, you and your promotions recently, I know all these gentlemen personally through my Rotary Club, and I think it's a great team, and looking forward to wherever we can help support the mission of the Chino Police Department. And that's it.
Great, thank you very much. Well, and with that, like I had said, we are adjourning in the memory of Glenn Duncan, Donna DeBee, and Father Mike. All three absolutely wonderful people that are going to be missed in our community. Glenn Duncan did contribute so much while he was involved in the council and also before the council. He and Cindy both were very involved in the community. Donna was just such a classy lady. She was president of Kiwanis for a while and just was able to get amazing things done in a very quiet and classy way. Just a really classy gal. And Father Mike, his dream was St. Paul. And, he took that community and built an absolutely amazing church. He would not compromise on what his vision was, and that church will be there forever as not a monument to him, but just as a memorial to his efforts, and he's going to really be missed. I was fortunate enough to really get to know him very, very well through Isaiah's Rock and through Charlene King. Chris Flores, our councilman, actually became his major caregiver in his last several months, and Chris went way over and above to care for Father Mike. So he'll be missed. He was a really a great guy. So with that, we are adjourning in their memory. Our next meeting will be a workshop held on Tuesday, September 12th, starting at 6 o'clock here in the council chambers. Our regular meeting will be held on Tuesday, September 19th, again at 6 o'clock, with closed session starting no earlier than 4 o'clock if necessary. With that, we are adjourned.